workout to go tomorrow morning, but the guys, they've done a great job these 7 weeks. They've started 2023 off the right way, different team. And then we've got older guys in the offensive line, so I think the offensive line as a unit has also brought a lot of value in the leadership area.
Where are Nick and
Both of them have done a phenomenal job. You know, Nick is this is his thing. I mean, he is a speed, strength, power athlete all the way. And Katron, even though he doesn't have a background as extensive as Nick's when he got here, Katron has thrived in our system. You know, you can see the body change he's gone through ever since he first got on campus up to now. And he's done a phenomenal job. So they've still got some deficiencies they need to work on, and they know that. We addressed that at the beginning of the winter, but they're working hard at it. Both of them doing a phenomenal job.
It looks like Drew Aller's physical development has, advanced.
Yeah, I mean, Drew, obviously with being at the quarterback position, you've got to have durability. So that was one thing with a tall, lean frame like Drew had when he first came in. One of his main objectives was to put muscle mass on. Which he's done a great job. The number doesn't come to mind exactly how much he's put on, but it's in the excess of 20, 25 pounds since he's been here. And he looks great. I mean, he looks like a defensive end right now. I'm really happy with his progress. He's put on the lean mass, and he was probably behind from a strength and power standpoint and speed when he first got here. And I'll tell you what, he's closed the gap. A lot of guys at that position, Bo is kind of an elite person, an elite athlete when it comes to speed, strength, and power. So I think the combination of having, Drew, who was probably behind the curve when he first got here, and having somebody like Bo in the same room and those two in the same class, it's really benefited Drew. Good job in the sense that he's pushed outside of his comfort zone. By nature, Drew is probably he's not the loudest person you'll ever meet. He's loud on the field when he's commanding the offense, obviously, but just his disposition, his nature, he's not an attention-seeking guy. So he's quiet-natured, but I've seen him during our workouts, during the winter workouts in the weight room. He's made himself uncomfortable, put himself in uncomfortable situations to where he's forced himself to speak up to other guys. So in that sense, I'm really proud of him.
Pick it up later in the year. How does that timeline?
I mean, everybody's a full participant. It just depends on what degree. I mean, this thing is so finely tuned. By the time we know exactly what we're getting at the beginning of these 7 weeks, we know who's got any type of soft tissue injury, some type of surgical return to play. I mean, they're just on a different program, you know. But it's still full go, depending on what they can do. But there is no, I hate to use the term limited. It's just limited in the sense that they're not fully healthy. But trust me, they're working as hard as everybody else. It's just different.
I want to get from them. This winter conditioning.
From the winter conditioning, I mean, even though, yeah, they're advanced with an on-field skill set, but from a training gauge standpoint, you know, they're still early in their development. So again, that piece where we're going to come in, we're going to grind them the same as we are everybody else. Their ceilings are just higher than a lot of other guys you work with. He was a highly talented recruit, and he kind of figured it out early. He's like, wow, you know, I got work. These guys are good too. But one of his biggest goals when he first got here that we addressed early was and he knows this, you know, he was too big. He was overweight for his body composition. So we've been whittling away at his body composition for the past year, and he's done a phenomenal. He's completely changed his body. He looks lean. He's getting stronger in here, and I think with that confidence, he's a different player right now than what he was. Certainly this time last year, he really started to find his stride during the year, during this past season. I'm really happy with Penn.
Going into last season, James admitted that there was
with the offensive line, as far as question marks going into last year.
Going into last season, yeah. James basically said, "I'm not going to say anything else about it. They're going to prove it on the field."
Yeah, I mean, offensive line is one of those positions where it's hard. Like there's a curve there. There's a learning curve there. Most of your contributors usually aren't. You usually don't have your guys come out of high school and contribute to the offensive line. It's just one of those positions on the field that you need seasoned guys in there. And I think last year was a product of they didn't like the results we had the year before with the offensive line, so they were motivated throughout the entire 22 year. They did a phenomenal job, but also they were seasoned, you know, just older guys in the room. And I think, you know, Troutwine's done a phenomenal job. I think Frank Leonard coming in has done a phenomenal job for us. That combination of all those things falling into place at the right time, mixed in with the hard work they put in here, you know, it's just, they're reaping the benefit now.
All right, thank you, Chuck.